Welcome to the Biomolecules Project Interactive Scene button video. You'll learn how to make the button for the interactive scene in this video. The basic requirement is the same as all buttons. You just have to decide whether you want to design a button or upload a button image. So what I'm talking about is when you look at my project, I decided to design my own buttons.
This recording is about the trachea.
And so you decide whether you want to create your own button or upload a button image. Doesn't matter. So let's go ahead and get to the interactive scene. So I'll go to Scratch and I'll go ahead and find my interactive scene. And let's go ahead and make a button. So I'll click on See Inside. And what I want to do is create my own button. So I'll create a sprite and I'll paint it. And similar to what I've done in other videos, when you want to make a button or something like that, you decide what shape you want, and then I'll go ahead and put this here. I'll change the fill for this to something else. Okay. I want to go ahead and add my text in that, and so this is going to just say scene. I can't see it, so I press Command A to select the whole thing, and then I change the brightness, and I can move this text for scene by selecting the select icon, and then move it around, make the word bigger. If I want to select the whole thing, I can select and then make it a little bit smaller. I don't know where I'll have the interactive scene on the menu, it doesn't matter. I'll go ahead and put it there. And I'll leave it as costume number 1. Alright, so now I'm done with making my button. I just need to add my code for it. So I'll go ahead and go to Code, and let's go to Events. When flag clicked, I want to make sure that this thing is showing, so I'll go to Looks and I'll show it. And I'll leave it right where it is, so I want to position it by making sure that there is a Go To. Okay, now when I receive main menu, so I'll go to Events. And when I receive main menu, I also want to show it, and I want to make sure that it's in the same spot. So I'll show it, and I'll make sure it's in the same spot. You haven't done the main menu button, you will eventually. Next is when I receive switch, I want to hide. So I'll go to Events, and when I receive, and this one you'll have to write in switch, SWITCH, and make sure that it's lowercase switch. Okay, when I receive this switch broadcast, I want to hide. And last but not least, the actual code for when you actually click the button. So when this sprite is clicked, I want to make sure that the backdrop is switched to backdrop 1, which is this purple backdrop. I'm going to go to Video, and I'm going to turn the video on and set the video transparency to 50. Then I'm going to broadcast, so I'll go to Events, and I'll broadcast parts, and I'll also broadcast switch. So I'll broadcast parts and switch. Now you may see that I've got this video on right here. And video transparency, and I have that for actually each one of these things. So I actually don't need it any longer since I have it for the button. I don't need it for each one of the parts. I only needed it for the parts so that I could test it out. So what I'm going to do is go to each one of the parts, and I will delete those 2 lines of code since I have it for the button now. So go through each one of your parts, get rid of those 2 lines of code. And last but not least, all right, great. So now I've got all the code that I need. So when I click my flag, I've got my interactive scene. When I click on it, it's going to show up. It's going to change the video transparency, and then I can go ahead and begin with my interactive scene. Okay? At this point, you're done with this video. Great job.